good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Neil next in line, and I just want to let you guys know I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to our YouTube channel, and thank you for the feedback, because guess what, guys? We've been getting a lot of feedback and a lot of DMs asking where could they donate to the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. I was like, what? They actually want to help us? This is super cool. So guys, do me a favor and go to the YouTube, right? When you go on to YouTube and you subscribe, there's actually a link at the bottom. So when you click on the link, it will take you on where you can donate. And we really appreciate all of this, because we got to keep the lights on, guys. I'm just being real. This stuff that you're seeing right here, it costs, you know what I mean? And we appreciate all donations. We appreciate it all. And we super are grateful for the people that have given us comments, for the people who have signed up for the Yo Rabbit and Neil on Instagram, and for the people who have subscribed. So guys, thank you so much. And we look forward to meeting you guys one day, because we're going to have like this huge show soon where we get everybody to come on in and we actually get you guys to interact with each other in the show. So thank you so much. My name is Neil next in line. I got my host that is not here right now with me, but she know what I'm saying. She know what I'm doing right now. And it's all about giving back. All right. So check in with us, tap in with us. We love you, and let's go. It's your boy Neil next in line, and I am the co-host of the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. Bow. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Neil next in line, and I am with my host,
Jessica Rabbit.
And we are the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. Ooh.
What's up now?
Hey, man, everything's been good. How your weekend is?
Good. You know, we're in October.
Well, we are in October.
Yes, we are, and it's almost gone.
It's almost gone
that quick.
Can you believe it?
I know.
October just...
Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yeah, man.
But you know, October is domestic violence awareness.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that's what's the topic today about, domestic violence.
Domestic violence awareness. Wow, yeah, that's right.
That's a touchy subject, so I'm going to share a little bit of my experience. So you guys will know a little bit of my story dealing with domestic violence. But this is a serious topic, especially during COVID. Like, it increased, like, to the max. Yeah. People was, being with their spouses all day long.
Had to sit in the house with them.
Had to learn them. Really didn't even think if they really liked them or not, because they didn't spend that much time with them. So, yeah, domestic violence was at its all-time high. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to give out numbers. Okay. If anybody needs help or looking for help, we have numbers that you can call to.
Yes, we do.
And follow up. They have a lot of programs like Women in Distress. They have Women in Distress as well.
I know that.
Yeah. Oh. It's sacred, so not a lot of people know about it. Oh. Unless you're going through it, and that's where they place you.
And that's where they place you.
Yeah, for like your identity and stuff like that, when you're going through domestic violence and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's what the show was about today.
Okay.
So we're going to get into it, Neil.
All right. So the number one is discussing the prevalence of domestic violence. But before we do that, I got to say the prayer. All right. So
of course, we got to lead with the prayer.
Got to lead with that prayer.
Got to
lead. You know what I'm saying?
Prayer.
Before we go in. You know what I mean? So before we get started, I want to say this. Lord our God, our Father in heaven, be with us as we gathered here. Through your Spirit, let our hearts grow in understanding of how we can serve you rightly and live as you want us to live. Help us hold fast to all that is good. In the name of Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Hey. We got to lead that with the prayer.
Got to have that prayer first.
Got to have God, lead the way.
Yeah, man. We ain't perfect people, but you know what? We pray to God and we ask him, to help us and guide us right.
Right.
And he understands us and he knows our heart. So that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Absolutely correct, though. So now we're discussing domestic violence worldwide. So we're going to give you a few highlights about some serious situations, statistics, family issues, relationships in general, red flags, what to look for.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it comes to domestic.
Domestic, man, that's a serious deal.
One of the major red flags to me is control.
Being able to control the situation and them being in charge when you don't have any power over anything.
That's when that starts.
So I think that's when it starts.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
for
jealousy too.
Jealousy.
Yeah, it'll lead to that.
It can lead to a lot of things. I mean, and you try to figure out where did that come from.
Right.
Why are those people are violent people towards relationships?
Right.
Why are they doing things to hurt the next person? I think it really trickles back to something that they've went through.
Childhood trauma
for them. And and that's why we say like when kids go through childhood trauma as kids, as they get older, it can play out into their relationships into adulthood, and then they will start to act those things that happen to them out into the relationship when they become adults. Yeah. And to me, kids that go through that trauma of getting molested or beat on, things like that, and then they grow up into adulthood, that will go into their relationship. People say it doesn't, but it do. Yeah, they carry all those things that happen to them into their relationships, into adulthood, and then it plays out where people get hurt, they get killed. Some dudes, I say on the dude side, some dudes, they actually try to treat a woman like it's that they're a pet. Right. I've seen that. Or a guy tries to handle a woman like a pet. Like, sit. I said sit. Sit. Get the food. Hurry up and get the... Yo, I've seen that. And I was like, whoa. That's like they're trying to handle them like they're some type of pet or something, and that's not cool. Right. And I've seen it on men, too. Some men get treated that way, too. But it's a deep topic. It is. It's really detrimental, and it needs to be talked about. Oh yeah. And it may make some people uncomfortable, but uncomfortability means growth. So you got to grow from that uncomfortability, and that's what we're here to do. So.
And there's women out there that even like being in domestic. I don't know if it's a mental thing or.
I think it's a mental health thing for sure.
Because I don't understand.
I think it's if I had, like I said, I'm giving my perspective. If I had my opinion and perspective about it, I think a lot of times it goes right back into mental health again. It just does. It goes right back into mental health. They say some women like toxic relationships. Yeah. And
I know a few.
Ooh, Lord, they love.
I know a few because at first I'm like, damn, like every relationship you get into is always domestic. Like I couldn't understand why. Every single, I'm like, you must like that or through like control. Like some women like to be controlled.
They just do.
Not me.
Nah, man.
I don't like to be controlled, and you got to talk to me a certain type of way. You can't talk to me any kind of way. That's another flag. Oh, if they talking to you any kind of way, cursing you out any kind of way, that's a sign right there.
Yeah, there's some issues. There's some issues going on, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. That's the whole thing. Like. If somebody's acting out like that, it really and truthfully got nothing to do with you. It's something that they went through in their life at one point. Yeah. And they're just playing that out. And it's up to you as a person to say, man, this is not good. It goes down to boundaries. Yeah. If you don't set boundaries with somebody, they're going to always go over that every time. And the only way that you can get out of that is saying, hey, listen, I can't go no further. I must release you with love. I have to release you with love. And that's hard to do when a person falls in love with a toxic person.
That's true.
When they fall in love with a toxic person, it's hard for you to say, I'm going to just call it quits. Yeah, right. You're knee deep in. You're in love with this person that has been toxic to you for a lot of years, or maybe even a year or two. Has been so toxic to the point where you almost feel stuck. You almost feel like you can't get away from that person because you have fell in love with that person for whatever reason. And now that the drama has came, and now that the abuse has came, you're trapped into that abuse. Because now it's like, but if I leave, I'm not going to be the same.
Right, or fear too.
Or if I leave, he might kill me.
He's going to kill me. Or he's going to find me. He's going to kill me.
You know what I mean? So this is some real live things that happen in real life, and we're here today to talk about it. We're talking about it today, and like I said, some people may get uncomfortable, but sometimes you need to be uncomfortable so you can get comfortable with moving on from the situation.
And you never know, there's people out there that want to hear this, what we're talking about right now. There's a lot of women that are battling with domestic violence that's scared to talk about it or embarrassed to talk about it or anything like that. But we want you to know that you don't have to be embarrassed. Not under your Rabbit and Neil show.
Yeah, not on Rabbit and
Neil. We don't judge at all.
We don't judge.
We open, we freely, we very vulnerable. I'm gonna share a story of mine. I love it too because we're very vulnerable. We talk about our experience, what we go through, and we let you guys know. So I'm definitely going to tap in with you guys and tell you a little bit about my story and my domestic situation that I had years ago. Oh, okay. So we'll be right back. It's your girl, Jessica Rabbit.
It's your boy, Neil, baby.
And it's the Yo Rabbit and Neil show.
Yes.
We'll be back.
We are back for the Yo Rabbit and Neil. My name is Neil, next in line, and I'm with my host,
Jessica Rabbit.
And we are the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. Yes. When we last left off, right, we were talking about the month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we just want to discuss the prevalence of the domestic violence, worldwide. You know what I mean? And just highlight the facts, you know what I mean? Highlight the facts about it and things that happen. Regardless of age or, you know what I mean, or any type of status. So we just wanted to, go over those things. And you said you wanted to talk about a situation.
Yeah, I just wanted to
So
tell everybody my experience on domestic violence and why I'm so hard when it comes down to domestic violence and anybody going through domestic violence, because I was a domestic survivor, domestic violence survivor myself.
Wow.
Who would have ever thought?
I would have never thought that.
Me either in a million years.
Wow.
I come from a strong family.
Mm-hmm.
I know better to let anybody put their hands on you. But again, you know, sometimes you just fall into a situation. And it happened. I was also very, very, very young.
Okay.
When it happened. Yeah. So my experience with domestic violence, at first it started off the controlling part.
Start off there.
Those are the flags that I tell you about.
Did you think that was normal? Like back then, because you was young, did you feel
and at the beginning, I didn't pay too close to it because I was already in too deep anyway. So I wasn't paying too much attention to like the flags at the beginning because I didn't know what signs to look for. I was intertwined. I was too in love. At that time. And you know, he took my innocence. I was only 13 years old when I met him. So really? I was very, very young.
Whoa.
I was young. So I knew better, but then when you're in that situation, you just don't know that could ever happen to you.
Right. You think
I never thought it would ever happen to me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with my situation, it started just getting worse and worse. Started off verbally, then controlling. Then I couldn't hang with my friends. My friends weren't allowed to come to the house. I couldn't chill. Now, what got me was when I couldn't even hang out with my family.
Oh.
So if he was in the house and everybody, I had to be right upstairs, right with him. And it just started getting worse and worse. And the last thing he did that made me like, you know what, if I don't leave this situation, he is gonna kill me, was when he put out a gun on me. So when he put out the gun on me, I fought for my life for 2 hours straight. Yeah, he wanted to off me, off himself, and off my child at the same time.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah. So when he did that, and I was fighting for my life, I was like, you know what? I can't wait for tomorrow. Because when I wake up tomorrow, you are out of here. And I remember it clear as day, like it was yesterday. The next day, I was like, you know what? I need to get out the situation because this man is going to really kill me. So where I lived in Rochester, New York. So Rochester from the Bronx is like 8 hours away.
Okay.
So nobody knew I was going through this. Nobody knew, not my sisters, nobody knew I was going through, because I was like, oh my God, if I tell my mom or I tell my sisters, especially my mom, they're going to kill him. So I'm like, you know, I'm not even going to say anything. He was living in our house and no one knew what was going on. Wow. So I was like, you know what? I need to get away. Like, I need to get away from this man, at least for a little bit. I called my sister in the Bronx and I'm like, hey, I'm coming down for a week because I needed to clear my mind. But again, nobody knew I was going through that. So when I went to the Bronx, you know, I had some time to think. I'm like, you know what? If I don't get out the situation, he's going to kill me. So I was like, you know what? I spoke to him. I was like, listen, I don't want to be with you no more. So when I get back, you know, to Rochester, I need you to have your stuff out my house.
Right.
You know, he didn't believe me because we will always get into altercations or arguments, and I will always take him back. For some reason, he'll make me feel guilty about something and all this stuff, so I will always take him back. But this time, I was like, you put a gun out on me. Ooh. Yeah, you was about to shoot me and my son, and you think I'm going to go back to that?
That's heavy.
No. So when I got back to Rochester, the same exact day that I got back from Rochester was the same day he got locked up and did 8 years in prison.
Ooh.
So even me looking back at it, I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
How about if he wouldn't have got locked up?
That's what I'm saying.
What would have happened?
You know, God is a good God. You know what I mean? Because he knows what he's doing at that exact time.
Right.
He knew you was going through something, and that was a deep situation. And I felt that it was nobody but God that got you up out of that situation. It just was, because see how that happened? And I don't wish that upon nobody, but you see how that happened. You know what I mean? Because who knows what he had in store for you.
Right.
He could have did, like you said, he could have followed through and God forbid had sent you guys, you know, shot you guys or whatever. But God seen another way for you and seen a vision for you. And that didn't happen by the grace of God. So I thank God that you made it through that. And I just want to commend you for making it through it, because it's not easy dealing with people, especially domestic violence.
Right.
I understand that is a tough situation. I've never been through that, and I've never done that to no woman. But I will say that I've heard so many stories, and to hear your story is like, wow, that's close to home.
It's crazy.
That's close to home.
And it's even to all the women out there, you know, I know it's hard, but you can get out. Like, if I got out, I know a few people that get out before it's too late.
Yeah, please.
You know, because one wrong slap or anything knock you you unconscious, and then that's it. You know,
he can hit you by accident, or not hit you, and then you hit like a stove
or something,
and then you die from that. You know what I mean? And he could be like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean it," but you are angry.
Right.
There's something going on mentally in your mind. There's something mentally wrong with you. And anytime when a man is constantly hitting on a woman, battering, beating, talking about killing them, putting gun, there's something mentally wrong with that person, and they need help. The sad part about that is when you fall in love as a woman with that man, it is hard to leave that man because you fell in love with this man.
Right.
This man, oh my God, he can't do no wrong in your
Nothing.
eyes.
He did no wrong in my eyes.
And that woman dare you to jump on him because you're trying to protect her. She actually start beating on you. So
No,
I don't
true.
mean to laugh, but at the end of the day, that's happened here in Florida. A guy seen a woman getting beat on by a man. He got out the car to try to help her, and the guy killed him. Yeah. Literally shot the crap out of this guy.
That happens a lot too.
Even the woman was like, "Oh no, leave him alone," and he winds up shooting the guy. And then, I mean, all because this guy seen a woman in distress. Right. He went there to help her out, and he wind up dying. And he left behind his kid and his wife. And the wife told him not to go over there. He's like, "Man, she's a woman." Right. So he went to do that, and he died.
No, it's hard to even see.
That's tough, man.
It's like, why? You know you're stronger than her.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even put your hands on her?
That's why some guys think twice before when they see a man and a woman going into it with each other. They kind of think twice to go over there and see about that.
No, and then sometimes, majority of the time, they take them back.
They take them back.
As many times my friends would tell me, leave him, I still was with him no matter what.
That made you go even harder on sticking with him.
It was to the point where they didn't even want to come around me because they didn't like him.
Right.
And they knew his presence. They couldn't even stand his presence. So every time he'll come in the house, my homegirl will leave.
Well, you got to respect that because they didn't like what was being done to you.
Right.
And I respect that for anybody. Don't force a person onto your friends because you accepted that. So that they don't have to accept that. That's something with you. So don't force anybody upon the person you fell in love with, because I may not like that person for a certain reason of what they done to you. So don't force me to deal with them.
Right.
Don't do that to me, because now you're putting me in a situation. If he says something, if she says something that you don't like, and he comes out his mouth, defending that, you're gonna be like, "Oh, why did you talk to my man that way? Why did you talk to my girl that way?" It's like, bro, you the one that told me. That's why you got to watch your mouth when you're sitting there telling your business to people, because then people gonna have a side, and they're gonna take your side. So therefore, they're gonna look at him as a jerk, or they're gonna look at her as a jerk or an a-hole for the simple fact you told them on how he beat you, on how he did this.
And that's how we become isolated.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, now we got to hold it in. We can't tell you again because we keep telling you over and over.
So when that come back,
right. And then every time, you same thing, you're going to say, leave him, leave him. So that's why, you become isolated because you're not ready to leave him.
Nope. No, you won't be ready to leave until you're ready. And you got to pray to God that you don't leave in a body bag. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pray to God. Sometimes you got to love somebody enough to let them go. And a lot of times people don't understand that. You can love a person, be in love with them so much, but if they're hurting you, if they're abusing you, if they're mentally abusing you, physically abusing you, you got to release them with love, no matter if it hurts you. But you're so scared because he's trained you to be scared of him.
Yeah,
he's trained you to be all these things that you're less than. Yeah. He trained you to be like, oh, you're less than
they'll break you down so you don't have no type of self-esteem.
Your self-esteem like shot.
I was 13 and I was looking like I was old. Like older. Like I wasn't allowed. He would go to the mall, buy my clothes for me. Like I wasn't allowed to wear fitted clothes or anything like that. Like it was crazy. And when he pulled that stunt, I knew something mentally was wrong with him. Right. When he called his mother to say his goodbyes. Whoa. So I was like, oh my God, this man's going to kill me. Whoa. And she knew. So I told her, I'm like, well, if you don't hear from me in like 2 minutes, just call the cops. Right. And while my family was downstairs, they didn't hear anything because my room was way to the back. Wow. And he had the music loud as hell, so nobody could hear. Wow. Yeah. Amazing. He was terrible. And now he's in prison. He's in prison now for stabbing his baby mama 5 times. Whoa. Yeah, and almost killed her. So I'm so glad that I got out of it.
God seen it fit to get you up out that situation, and thank God that you're here. Right. You're with your kids, and that's a blessing. So to all the women out there that's going through that, I pray to God that you get out of it
and get help.
I pray that you get help. And I pray that you snap out of it, because love doesn't mean get smacked up. Love doesn't mean to get kicked and punched and told what to do, told when to eat, told when to sleep, like you in prison or something. I'm sorry, but that's not love. If you think that is love, that just means that he has got you so down to the point that your self-esteem is low. You feel like you're less than. And the crazy thing about it, in some weird way, you're in love with that toxic person. You're in love with them, even though they beat you, they kick you, they do all these things to you, but you, in some twisted way, you are in love with them. And I pray to God that you notice the difference. I'm just saying.
No, that's true. Wow. And I felt bad for him, like especially his offspring and what he went through. I didn't see the monster. I knew that there was somebody in there that had a heart. So I was just trying to dig and try to find out, why are you like this? Like, why do you do the things you do? You know, but hey, I'm not a therapist. Obviously, we're not therapists.
We're not therapists.
If they need to seek help, there's help out there for everybody. You know,
there's help if you want it.
If you want it.
If you want it. Because some people, you can't save everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? I remember a dude told me one time, I got with my girl and I made her my wife, and I knew she had issues, but I felt like I can save her. How?
Right.
You're not certified to do that.
Yeah.
What make you think you can? And then when he found out he couldn't, he's no longer with her anymore. See what I'm saying? You thought you could fix somebody who was had some mental health issues, and you found out that you couldn't, and now guess what? You're not with her anymore. You've divorced her, right? All because you thought for some strange reason that you can fix her, and you can't. No one can fix anybody.
Yeah, you
God can't. And therapists, people who are trained to do that.
And you got to be willing to fix yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, because they'll change for a little bit. Like, he'll be like, I'm so sorry, I won't ever do it again. And then he'll be good for like a good 2 weeks. And then he'll be back to the same.
He'll go right back into it.
The same exact person.
Yeah, that's a mental health issue. It is. It has nothing to do with you. There's something mentally wrong. I wish that a lot of us were able to discern that when we first meet people.
I know.
I wish that we can do that, but we don't never know until we get in. And once you get into that
you
vehicle,
deep,
it's like, oh, snap. I'm in this vehicle. I'm looking around, and I didn't even know the vehicle didn't have doors on it. Right? I didn't know that the vehicle didn't have air conditioning in it. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by a person. When you get in, you don't know if that person is mentally unstable, because they may have came off like they were cool in the beginning, and you've not.
He wasn't like that at the beginning. At the beginning, he wasn't like that at all.
May not. Sometimes they hide it. People put on a mask sometimes, and when they put that mask on, you don't see that until when you're knee deep in. By that time, you have fallen in love. You know that person has an issue, but you're still riding with that because you're feeling like somehow or another you can some way or another get her to get help or him to get help. And you start to notice like, wow, I really can't help them. I thought I could. It becomes frustrating. It becomes mentally draining. And what happens is when you finally do get away from that person, you need time to heal. But a lot of times people don't.
They don't.
They'll leave a person knowing that it was very toxic, and they'll go right into another situation, and then that situation becomes toxic because you're bringing that baggage that happened to you before. You need to take time out for yourself. You need to not get involved with nobody until you heal. Like, I mean, mentally, physically heal.
And I think that it's kind of hard for me to say because I could talk about it freely. Before I couldn't, but now I could talk about it freely. I healed myself. And certain things still trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm in a relationship with somebody, you talk to me any kind of way or loud spoken, it triggers me. Like, don't get in my face. Don't talk junk to me in my face because automatically I'm going to...
A defense,
I'm on defense mode right now. So if you come to my face, I'm going to be... gonna slap you or we're gonna fight because I'm gonna think that
that
you're gonna put your hand,
you're gonna hit me or something. So you're just being in that.
So it's still kind of like triggers.
So it's there. It's still back there. And it will be because no matter what we say, right? No matter what, you're gonna always have something back at that trait that did something that happened to you. And then when something presently comes up, it's going to remind you of what happened back then, and you automatically are going to get there. But that's what I'm saying. We try to erase those things, but I'm telling you, it's like an imprint. It's there. It's imprinted in the back of your head about what happened. But
that's how I won't deal with it. And I'm so glad now that I know the red flags and I know what to look for. Once you start being too jealous and possessive and controlling where you at and why you ain't answer your phone at this time and this and that, you got to go. Because those are flags right there that he's trying to control you, and then next thing you know, it's going to be a slap here and there, and then
it also can be like insecurities with them too. They can be insecure and not.
A lot of them are insecure.
Very, man.
I think all men, even women too, that have control issues, It's something.
They have insecurities.
Yeah, they have insecurity issues.
Any man that has a control problem, he's an insecure man for sure. Something happened to him, and he needs to get mental health. I'm just being. He needs to get mental help, man. Because I'm married, right? And me and my wife, we have never went through that. Between me and her, we have never been through anything like that. And the reason why is because as a kid, I wasn't physically abused as a kid, meaning that I wasn't knocked around, but I was mentally abused in some form, shape, or form because of things. But it never made me feel like I need to put my hand on that woman. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God I never had that mentality of that. So. Man, it's just a real tough subject.
It's deep. So
subject,
girls,
man.
please get out. Men as well, they go through domestic violence too. So get out while you can. If you see those red flags, that's not love. Nobody should feel like you're anybody's property or anybody's animal or anything like that. We're human beings. We are human. And we should be treated like human beings.
That's right. Amen to that.
So it's your girl, Jessica Rabbit.
It's your boy, Neil, next in line.
And this is the Yo Rabbit and Neil Show.
And we'll be right back after these messages. What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Yo Rabbit and Neil Show. I am your co-host, Neil.
And I am Jessica Rabbit.
And we are back.
Yes, and we've been talking about domestic violence. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month for the whole month of October. So shout outs to all the domestic violence survivors.
Yes, shout out to you guys, man, for the ones who got out.
And I also want to give a little bit of the statistics, especially here in Florida.
Oh, yeah. You must
Domestic violence is a serious issue here in Florida. It's important, to be aware of the statistics and stuff. Well, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, there were 105,000 reported cases of domestic violence in Florida in 2022.
Whoa.
That's a lot. And in the same year, there were 183 domestic violence-related homicide in the state of Florida too.
Wow.
So Florida got some things with them now.
What's up, man? What y'all doing?
That's some high 105,718 reported cases. That's a lot.
Wow.
For just last year alone. So imagine how it went up.
Wow. And in the same year, there was 103 domestic violence related
103
homicides.
Violence related to homicide in the state.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa, man.
And Florida is constantly ranks amongst all the states as being one of the top states for domestic violence, which I didn't even know that either.
I didn't know that. Holy moly, donut shop. Wow.
I didn't know that because normally you see it a lot in them small,
small
like Alabama and
real
Kentucky.
Small. Yeah, way back up in there. Yeah.
But Florida?
Man, I didn't know that, man. Wow.
Yeah. Florida. And we have some numbers for you guys too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you want to seek out for help.
Yes.
Neil have some numbers that he wants to let you guys know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, guys, if you would like help, right, when you finally get the nerve to get out, here's a couple of numbers that you can reach. One of the numbers is called the Florida Coalitions Against Domestic Violence.
The FCADV?
Right, FCADV. It is a statewide organization that provides resources, support, and advocacy for domestic violence survivors. You can reach them if you want at 1-800-500-1119 or through their website at www.fcadv.org. Okay, so make sure you do that. And they also have the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that hotline basically provides 24/7 support information and the resources for domestic violence victims. So you can also call them at 1-800-799-SAFE. Once again, that number is 1-800-799-SAFE. And for the people I can show you the number, tell you the number, I'm sorry. 7233 is the opposite of SAFE. So 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233, or visit their website at www.
They have a hotline too.
Yep, thehotline.org. Okay. So, and then, oh my gosh.
They got the Florida Department.
They got the Florida Department of Children and Families.
So,
right?
Yeah, if they need that.
Yeah, it offers them programs and services to assist domestic violence survivors as well. And you can actually call them at 1-800-962-2873. Or you can visit www.myfamilies.com. Let me see, making sure that.
There you have it.
My Family's. Oh, my FIFAMILIES.com.
So basically, My Florida Families.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because it's
.com.
not reading it. Yeah, so it's my FL. Yep.
My FL.
Yep. And then for your local law enforcement. I mean, in case of your immediate danger, you guys know exactly where you can call, right? 911.
911.
Okay, 911 to report domestic violence incidents to the police, and they can provide protection and connect victims with local resources. So there you have it, guys. The resources are there. Please take advantage of these resources. And I know, like I said, I know you may be scared because, you've been so conditioned by this person that has trained you to be scared, almost like a pet. And pets are not supposed to be scared to be trained. They're supposed to be loving, but it's the opposite when it comes down to human beings, man. And the local domestic violence shelters, they have those too. And many cities in Florida have shelters specifically for domestic violence victims.
Right.
So these shelters
have a lot of shelters.
They have a lot of them. I think one of them is.
So just in case that they're scared of shelter or they need somewhere to run to, once they call them numbers, I'm sure they'll plug them into the right place and let them know. And it's totally confidential.
Yeah, it's confidential. So
so you don't have to be scared of anybody knowing your situation or even the spouse knowing where you at. So everything they keep it sacred.
That's
so
right.
You ain't got to worry about
him.
You. Yeah, they protect you over here. So, but yeah, we're gonna wrap up the domestic violence for the whole month of October.
Yes, the whole month of October, guys.
So anybody that's experienced any domestic violence, we gave you the numbers.
Yes.
We told you where you can go.
That's right.
If you want to talk about it, we're more than welcome to hear you guys out.
Of course.
It's a very touchy situation, subject for a lot of people. But I'm glad I was able to, tell you guys my story and stuff like that, and open up to you guys a little bit about what I had going on when it came down to domestic violence. And I'm out of there. I'm out of there. And I'm not going back.
Yeah, good for you. Give me that.
Hell no.
Good for you, girl.
Put your hands if you want to.
I know that's right.
911. 911. That's what you're going to be calling. Whoa. But what's coming up.
Yeah, I already know.
You know. D's World. She come out with the exclusive trending topics, news, all that good stuff. So you already know it's your girl, Jessica Rabbit.
It's your boy Neil next in line, baby.
And this is the Yo Rabbit and Neil, and we'll be right back
with you. Welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen, to the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. I am your host, co-host Neil.
And I'm Jessica Rabbit.
And we are the Yo Rabbit and Neil show. Why on earth would I say I am the host? I'm a guy, man.
That's all right. But you already know who we got in the hot seat.
Oh,
you want your rabbit ass mind.
You know what that means.
We got D's World in the building. What's up, D?
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
We good. What's going on with you?
Can we get some claps for her, man? Let's clap it up for my girl real quick.
Yes, thank you. Welcome to D's World.
D's World.
So D, what do we have on the menu?
The latest topic trending online right now is pretty juicy. We have Tekashi 6ix9ine again.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So Tekashi 6ix9ine allegedly was arrested in the Dominican Republic for assault.
Really?
He assaulted producers in the Dominican Republic.
What?
Really?
Yeah. So I was reading that Tekashi 6ix9ine has been arrested in the Dominican Republic after a warrant was put out for his arrest for allegedly assaulting producers. According to the police in the Dominican Republic, Tekashi was taken into custody last week at the Hotel Balcones de Atlántico in Sanchez, located in Samaná, República Dominicana.
Oh, damn, he was over there in Samaná.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the warrant was issued out by the prosecutor from La Vega. Her name is Aura Love Garcia.
Okay.
Who is the one in charge of the whole investigation.
Wow.
There's videos online surfacing of Tekashi being brought down to the jail in Dominican Republic.
I seen that.
And it was just complete
It was like,
chaos.
yeah, it was
Really?
crazy.
You would think that Michael Jackson was coming out of
Right.
the car.
Whoa.
I mean, it
The
was
way they was
ridiculous.
acting.
I didn't know. I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so people were like screaming on the cop cars.
Oh, yeah,
they
it was
were
crazy.
like trying to get him to take a look at him. I mean, like they was escorting the president or something into the jail. I mean, it was
that's how they made
ridiculous.
it seem.
They made it seem like it was a president. Whoa.
Yeah. So Tekashi reportedly was beating up the producers, and then it's all because supposedly he was jealous. You know,
oh, Lord.
I guess Jaylene, Jaylene is his girlfriend, and she's like an upcoming artist from Dominican Republic. And I guess he found out that she was with some producers.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, maybe she was doing music or something. You know, she's an artist. He got jealous, and he went over to the studio where they were at, and it shows videos of him in there with a mask and a couple of other guys in there.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
He showed up with a crew and allegedly was jealous of the producers spending time with his girl. And they got into a big brawl in this studio, you know.
Wow.
And so Tekashi supposedly was trying to be slick and, you know, leave Dominican Republic. Like, soon as the altercation happened, he called the charter jets, you know, so he can fly out. But everyone knows, no matter where you're at, even if you're flying private, you still have to go through customs.
Right.
And customs, before they even allow you to leave the country, they run a whole warrant, you know, make sure you don't have any warrants or anything.
Right.
So that's what they did. They ran, you know, make sure he was good to leave the country, and he was cleared. And it came back that he wasn't cleared, that he had a warrant out for his arrest.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he had to get with
I'm surprised they didn't off him over there.
You know what? I don't know what to think about this. I'm like, it's like a catch 2022 because I see the chaos for him, and I see everybody calling for him and out there protesting that they want him free and all this other stuff. And I can see that, but at the same time, you must remember, when you're in any foreign third world country, it's all about money.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go
so.
into other people's countries and think that you're going to get away with doing things. That's not how that works.
Right.
You know, and I mean, he's going to be okay because his money's going to take him out of this, I think, because it's all about money. You know, over there in Dominican Republic, it's all about money.
Keep it real.
Who you know.
Yeah.
You know, you pay the right people, you can walk. But I think that his legal problem will begin when he comes back to the States. Because let's remember, Tekashi 6ix9ine a few years ago was involved in the whole RICO situation with the Train 9 and all that, you know. So, I mean, he snitched on his peoples, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's going to have any issues when he comes back, because part of being on probation or on papers, you can't, you know, have any contact with police.
Right.
So if he's been arrested in the Dominican Republic, we don't know if that can trigger down to him being arrested here when he gets here.
Well, that's a possibility for sure. You know what I mean? When he get off that plane.
We're definitely going to follow this story, but you know, going around Dominican Republic and just handing money out to all these people can get you hurt. It can get you killed because they know you have money. So they can do a lot of things. They could either set you up. I mean, we don't know if this was a setup. We don't know if it was a setup.
We don't.
And he just came up there. We don't know if his girlfriend is even down with the whole scheme thing, because that's just how sometimes people get down over there. You know what I'm saying? You have to be very careful. You're not familiar with the culture. You're not familiar with the people there. Move very accordingly when you're visiting or when you're somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't care. When you're overseas, you're right. When you're overseas,
anywhere you go, you just don't know their ways. You don't
and
know
learn their laws. Because look at in Dubai, certain things they got that
things.
Girl doing 2 years for some altercation that she had there.
Yeah, that happened that happened at the airport. She was she felt like they were like mishandling her a little too much, and so she asked the young lady if she can help her get something back on, like dressed or whatever, and she just tapped the lady, and the lady the one from the airport had her arrested and charged. And now she's doing 2 years, and she's only like 21, 22 years old. She's a young girl.
So you got to learn them laws when it comes down to them countries.
You know, it's so funny about that, but not funny because my son, I remember I was talking about, I want to go to Dubai, and he was 9 at the time, and he heard me saying that. And then one day I came and brung it back up again. He said, Dad, I don't think you want to go there. I was like, why? He was like, cause if you shake the wrong hand, you're going to jail. If you talk too loud there, you're going to jail. If you be affectionate out in public, you're going going to jail. It's like, what? No, I'll stay over
here. They have their rules.
I'll let people do what they do over there in Dubai.
I mean, and you just when you go visit, you just have to be mindful of where you're at when you're visiting. Learn the rules and regulations and laws, because you just never know, especially when you're going to a third world country. It's definitely not a nice place to be locked up at. You know, you're not in America where they're not feeding you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're not providing you with cable like they do here in America. Dominican Republic prisons and jails are no joke. Now, he has money, so he's going to be all right. You know?
Yeah, he'll be all right.
And I'm sure he'll get out of this because his money's going to talk.
His money long, you know.
Yeah. Another person on trending now is Jada Pinkett.
Oh man, I'm so sick of her.
Yes, Jada Pinkett is trending.
Yo, come on, dog.
Come on, man. They got her in the car, right? On a meme in a car with Tupac. I'm like, what?
I know.
You
that's
see
a whole bunch of memes.
But you know what? I'm gonna be
that
completely honest.
That's
though,
wild
with you.
to me. I'm like, what?
To be honest with you, she's getting a lot of flash, a lot of heat back because she wrote a book and it's her truth, and she's getting, a lot of backlash from it. But people say, put the truth in a book.
Yeah, because people don't even read
and
it.
No one would know about
Nobody
it.
Nobody would know.
Yeah. They won't know because, see, a lot of people are coming for her. But what they fail to realize is that Will Smith, and in his own book, said how he's cheated on her from the beginning, how he... Wow. That was why they decided to have an open relationship, because he cheated from day one on her. And she was just like, honestly, she was tired of it. She was ready to leave. And that's when they became, they came together and said, you know what, let's just have an open relationship. And that's when, the whole August Alsina situation happened, and her and Mark Anthony was dating, and he dates other women all the time. People just don't know that because he doesn't put it out there. Right. He's not out there with his business.
You'd be amazed on how
But
many
if you read his book, you would know that what she's saying is basically the same thing that he said. They're just looking at her flaws and what she did wrong, but no one's remembering what book that he came out with saying what about what his wrongdoings. So she's getting a lot of flat heat, and I feel bad for her. I feel bad for Will Smith too, for both of them, because they're great people. I'm sure I don't know them, but I'm sure they're great people, and I just pray that they can come together. And I mean, they've been together for so long,
a long time. And them kids too,
And the kids, and I'm sure that now the kids are embarrassed.
They're
older, I'm sure they embarrassed, because I know I read a couple of articles where the kids was just like not happy about her way of discussing their life or whatever.
I don't think she should have never came out with that table talk thing, really, to be honest.
Right. Ever since she started that, everything just went haywire.
Ever since she dropped that red table talk, I was like, yo, you about to hear it now.
I think that the red table talk was part of her healing.
Her therapy.
Probably was.
And
but she put her whole husband and her whole situation out on blast, which made him look stupid, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he
and
made
then it
himself
started making both of them look stupid, to be real. That's just the way I feel about it.
But remember this,
whatever.
He made himself look stupid when he wrote that book.
That's true.
Yeah,
because you married a woman that you was never faithful to, and this is what people are failing to talk about.
Yeah.
Everybody's pointing the finger at Jada, but let's talk about Will Smith. What has he done? And he's never denied it. Until this day, he takes trips with whatever woman he's seeing at the time, and of course, no one sees it because he doesn't put his business out there. And she's getting heat on it because she's putting it up there now. Now she's not covering it anymore. I guess she's got tired of putting up the front and putting up the whole,
persona. It's all coming to an end, right?
And then it also, another thing I read also was that the reason that he was even more hyped about smacking Chris Rock was because apparently he's seen a couple of text messages where Chris Rock was, trying to get Jada Pinkett to go out on a couple of dates with him.
Oh, wow.
And so
come on,
everybody in Hollywood.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, so everybody in Hollywood, I guess they know that they have an open relationship and stuff. So I guess he was like sending her text messages to get up with her and have dinner or whatever. So I think that's what.
So he wanted to discuss, right? I wonder what he wanted to discuss.
So I think that in that situation, he took the opportunity to go ahead and just like, you know what? Let me get this off my chest. You've been talking to my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I just think he did wrong by doing that.
Yeah, he did. That was.
He chose the wrong
one thing I did learn about this whole entire thing about them is that at the end of the day, no one on God's green earth is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of people got to stop looking at people like that and stop putting them on pedestals because they are human. And one thing my grandma told me, you know what she told me? Everybody takes the same dump that you take. Right. So that means that ain't nobody special than the other. Right. We all do the same thing. We got in good positions. Some people have became successful in what they do, but they still human. They still got to go to the bathroom just like you do. So don't hold them to be like, oh my God, they're like the God Almighty. No, because they're not. They're not perfect. And there's a lot of things you don't know that goes on between. Right. I remember one time people used to be like, oh man, Will Smith and they're
a
so
lot of people
good.
analyze their
they're
life.
so great. Oh man, these people marriages are so great, not even knowing that they're shambles behind all of that. So stop. That's my thing.
Guess
stop
what?
doing that.
This is what D's World is going to do. So Tekashi 6ix9ine, all my Dominican people in Dominican Republic, Jada Pickens and Will Smith, y'all out your rabbit ass mind.
They out there.
You out your rabbit ass mind.
So that's what they get.
That's what they get, man.
Listen, they've been trending too.
They've been trending.
I've been watching it.
They've been trending pretty good.
I've been watching the whole Jada.
Listen, I send
Tupac.
nothing but healing energy towards them.
Right.
And I'm glad. This is what I'm glad about. I'm glad that people are really seeing that these people are just like us, man. Yeah. They just got a little money, man. They got a little money, and they're able to do some things that you can't if you're a regular smuggler. But at the end of the day, they're still like us. They have infidelity. They have cheating. I don't care. Like, one person be like, yo, this girl looks so fine. She's a big person in the industry. How did this guy cheat on her? You don't know what's going on with her. You don't know her mental state. She could be the baddest woman in the world, but have some mental issues. So that's why people be leaving other people, and you try to figure out why they're leaving them. You don't know why, but there's a reason. Ain't nobody just gonna get with somebody and be like, "Oh, they look so good, I'm gonna stay with them." It's not gonna happen that way. So D's World, we like to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much, D,
for coming by.
You already know,
and giving us
hitting us up
for having me. Thank you guys. Love you
You're
guys.
welcome.
Love you too,
Thank
baby.
you for tuning into D's World.
So you already know we're gonna wrap it up. It's time to go.
Yeah, man.
It's time to go.
We gotta get out of here.
We gotta get out of here now.
Okay, all right.
So before we close it up, we close it up with an affirmation. Yes. And then with a prayer.
Yes.
So what's your affirmation for tonight?
I'm glad that you asked me that. I'm going to tell you why.
I found a few nice ones.
Did you find
that I've been reading lately. I even got some cards that I bought. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring it the next time. So we can, there's some good affirmations on that.
All right. So here's a couple. I'm not going to do a lot this time. There's a couple of one that I've been sticking with that's been real dear to me. And it's basically saying that I am legend. I am legendary. I am iconic. I am what I say I am. I am love. I am positivity. I am awareness. I am awesome. That's my affirmations.
That's what's up. And you speak it into existence.
Speaking it. I attract anything I want. Anything I want, just attract it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Mine is a healthy self-esteem allows us to have a positive outlook on life, to experience joy, and to go with life's ebbs and flows a little easier.
Ooh, I like that one.
So, you got to go with the flow.
Sometimes you got to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Speak that self-esteem up high.
Be
positive. Speak positive. And you're going to get positive.
Yeah.
Because you are what you attract.
Yeah, you are who you attract. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yep. So I'm going to end the show with a prayer.
Yeah.
Close it out.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Dear Lord, thank you for always being with us and guiding us as we continue to move through uncertain times. Please keep reminding us of your certainty. Thank you for everything you do for us. Amen.
Amen.
So, we got to thank God.
Yes, we always got to thank God. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's in control.
Got to thank him. You got to thank God, so.
Absolutely. So it's your girl, Jessica Rabbit.
It's your boy, Neil, next in line.
And this is the Rabbit and Neil show.
Yes.
And we out of here.
And we out of here, baby.
Ow.
Yeah.